Hello, my crafty friends. I am live. It is Monday, June 24th. I am just trying to get my stuff set up here so we can get started. I feel like I'm way too close to the thing. I gotta get my light turned on here, but can you believe that it is June 24th already? I cannot believe how fast this month has gone by. A little spider trying to build a home on my thing here. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and get started because I was running late. I actually don't know if this is still a bundle in the current catalog. I think you can get them together, but I'm not 100% sure. But we are using the Ice Cream Swirl stamp set and the coordinating Ice Cream Swirl dies, which are super duper cute. But we're actually not making anything with ice cream on it tonight. We are going to make a cute little donut card that I saw. I was inspired by Wendy Weixler. She had posted a cute little card on the Stampin' Up! Demonstrator Facebook page or Facebook group, and I just thought it was the cutest little thing. So that is what we're going to do. So I'm just going to slide this stuff over here. I posted the measurements this morning, and we needed a regular card base, 8.5 by 5.5, scored and folded in half at 4 1/4. Then we have a piece of pretty pink that is 4 by 5 1/4, and I did emboss this. I don't have a whole lot of embossing folders, so I used the Timber 3D embossing folder, but I think embossing folder, sorry, but I think it'll work. And then we had said you needed some scraps for making a piece, or doing the front. You needed some crumb cake scraps to finish up the front. And so what I did is I used the deckled rectangle dies to cut out a rectangle box top shape, and then I just measured that and cut this about 1/4 of an inch smaller so that it'll fit on the back there. You are going to need a white piece of scrap paper for stamping. And then my layers, I used a smaller deckled rectangle, and then slightly larger, I cut my designer series paper. It's the Pretty in Pink, but it is from the Charming Duck Pond suite. I don't remember what the paper is called though, I'm sorry. So that's gonna layer together. And then I did say, I believe I said gingham ribbon, but I'm actually gonna use this striped trim. It's kind of shimmery and fun. So we're going to try that. So we have all our pieces. I'm going to do my stamping and my die cutting first. Oh, and where'd it go? You're also going to need a piece of window sheet if you have it. So I'm going to go ahead and we're going to do some stamping first. On my scrap paper, I'm going to use my Memento ink because we are going to color these in. So I'm going to stamp, I don't know, I'm going to do six donuts here. And I was going to use my Stampin' Blends, but I think I just pulled out some regular markers, and I'm going to try the regular markers. Let's see how they look on one. We'll see how they look on one of the donuts, and if they don't look great, I can go grab my blends. But I just brought out 3 colors. I brought out a light brown to try to do, to make it the donut color, and then I brought out Pretty in Pink and Early Espresso. I was going to try to make those the frosting colors. So what I'm going to do is take my Pretty in Pink Stampin' Write marker, and using my brush tip, I'm just going to color in where the frosting should be. And the other reason I used my regular markers is because I don't have the Stampin' Blend in Pretty in Pink yet. I didn't get that one. So oh no. Well, I'll have to fix that. I'll have to stamp another donut, I guess. It's just my luck. The Ice Cream Swirl set is going to be my featured set this week, so any of my projects that I post will use this stamp set. Let me stamp one more here real quick since I messed up that one. Squeeze it in here. Hopefully there's enough space to cut it. All right, let me do one more light pink here. I think everybody everywhere is, but it is so incredibly hot. We were at 4 o'clock this afternoon. We were 96 with a feel like temperature of 101. It was absolutely terrible outside. My dog doesn't even want to stay outside. Not quite the brown I was going for chocolate frosting, but it's pretty close. I have been setting my camera up on my kitchen counter to do my lives because for some reason my phone connects better out here, and it's kind of a pain because I have to carry everything out and then pick it all up when I'm done, but it works better. I still get that slow connection warning. But it's not, doesn't seem to be as bad. Alright, so there's our donut icing. Then I'm going to take pecan pie and I'm going to try to see what this looks like to make like a cake donut kind of color. It's probably going to be too dark. Not too bad. I will say I do like my blends a whole lot better because I feel like they're way less streaky than my regular markers. But I also love my Stampin' Write markers. You can do so many fun things with them. If I have time this week, I am going to try to It will be pre-recorded, of course, but I'm going to try to post a video for a fun fold card that I learned how to make. It looks so cute. So I'm going to try to do that this week and get it put up on, I'll share the video on the group if I can get it done. And then this set, of course, will be the set that I use on Wednesday for my card class to go. I'm changing up where I go live. I am going to try to stream live on Wednesday from my YouTube channel. So I will post a link on Wednesday. I'll post a link on Wednesday to my YouTube channel, so you can pop over and watch me Wednesday at 7:30 for that live. Alright, so now I'm going to bring my little mini Stampin' Emboss machine over, and I'm going to get my donut die. There is only one donut die, so you're gonna have to bear with me while I cut out all of these donuts. One at a time. Post-it tape there. And I'm hoping that when I go live on Facebook on Wednesday that it might let me turn my camera to landscape instead of portrait, because I cannot stand having this skinny little screen to work with. It is just driving me bonkers. And I've looked and looked and looked to see how I can get it to go from landscape to portrait. And I've tried everything that I have researched, and there is nothing has worked. So these are coming out a little bit crooked, but it's all right. Okay, I got one more here. And that will be it for the die cutting. I usually do this beforehand, but these aren't super detailed, so that's why I went ahead and just did them while I was creating. Got our donuts. All right, so now I've got these cute little donuts. I am going to add a little bit of Wink of Stella to my frosting to kind of give it that shiny glazed look. Plus, I think it'll match with my ribbon. Okay, I got 2 more here. All right. So I'm going to move these to the side just to let them kind of dry a little bit, and we'll assemble our card while we are waiting for those to be ready. So I'm gonna move my pieces over. The card that I did get the inspiration from, it went this way, but I'm gonna work with my card this way. So it's gonna be a longer one versus a narrow one. So I've got my pretty and pink paper here, and we're just going to glue that on. Oh my goodness, that's not good. Okay. So to put this on. And I'm going to stamp my greeting on this little bitty piece here. I think I'm going to use thanks. And we're going to go ahead and stamp it in black. Since that's what I have out here. Piece is going to get glued onto the pink patterned paper layer like this. Okay, and we, I think, are going to put this on with dimensionals, maybe. I don't know. I'm going to set that aside. All right, let's build our donut box. So I have my little clear piece. And I think what I'm going to do is use the very edge of my Stampin' Dimensional sheet. Got to put my clear plastic on first, so I don't know how I want to do this. Try liquid glue. thin layer at the edge. Set that aside. Let's see. All right, so what I'm gonna do, you know what? I'm not gonna use those. I'm gonna stick those back down. I'm gonna use dimensionals. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna use 2. So that my box lid will pop up from my donuts. I've got to get better about talking while I do this, because most of the time I feel like I just ramble on and on about nothing. Sometimes I have useful things to say about what I'm working with, but doing these lives I get a little bit nervous because I'm always afraid I'm gonna mess up or sound silly or whatever. I'm going to try to get one in the middle here. All right, push this out of the way here. Clean that up later. Set that aside, and we're gonna put our donuts in our box now. So I'm just going to and here's where I will use these, just because I cut them apart. Anyways. I love my Stampin' Dimensionals. I think you've heard me mention that many, many times before. They are probably my most favorite accessory. And I think my donut's too far over on that side. I don't know if they will, I don't know if it'll go together. I might end up squishing a donut, but we'll see what happens. This is actually the very first time I am even using this stamp set. I got it when it was out in the, I got it when it was first out in the mini catalog in the springtime last year. Never opened it, never did anything with it. Life got kind of crazy. Schedule got kind of crazy. And I didn't do a whole lot of anything for months because I was so busy with just life. So this is the very first time I'm even opening and playing with this stamp set and these dies. And it just kind of worked out perfectly that I happened to see that post by Wendy. Sorry, I realize I keep going off the screen. How cute are those? I love it. All right, let's see if we can get this aligned up. You know what? I'll do it this way. That way I can get it even. Guess it would help if I'd take the papers off of all of the dimensionals, huh? How adorable is that? All right, so I'm gonna run some adhesive, some glue on the back side of this. I'm just gonna glue this on because I think we've got enough dimension on this. Make sure I've got my opening facing the right way. And so then I'm gonna stick this kind of sideways here like this. And I'm gonna go up and over. So that I'm pretty much, I'm gonna squish that down. Alright, so then I've got my thanks, which I think I'm going to do like that, but I'm going to put my ribbon on first. Where's my ribbon? So what I want to do, let's kind of get it like that. So I'm just snipping the ends of my ribbon a little bit to give them that cute little, see if you can see it, yeah. So that cute little pointed look, and it might be too long, I don't know, let me see. Yeah, it's a little bit too long. Let me trim it a little more. A little too long still, and I snipped that way too pointy. I don't want that much of a... There we go. Alright, so what I'm going to try to do is just run a line of my adhesive. No, I'm going to get super sticky. I'll do it this way. Sorry, I'm trying to get all these little scraps out of here. I'm going to run it this way. I'm going to just run it right on the ribbon. I still made a mess, but it was a lot better than trying to run liquid glue on it. Alright, so we're going to just run this up here. I'm going to try to get it on as straight as I can. The one thing about ribbon is that it doesn't like to go on super duper straight all the time. I don't know if I like that. It blends in too much with the paper. Maybe it'll be all right. All right, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna double stick my dimensionals again for my greeting, but I'm just going to put the double dots on one end because it's gonna overlap onto my box. So I just put them on the right side, and I'm going to, no, that's still not tall enough. I might have to put a third layer on. Let me see if this will help. That worked. Make sure this is straight. And then I'm gonna try to put just a little dot of glue here. So that that piece sticks too. I feel like it needs some blings. Let me go grab some type of embellishment. I'll be right back. I think I'm just going to go with a few rhinestones, to be honest. I don't like the ribbon, but I'm happy with the way it turned out. It's really cute. So if you created with the dimensions for today's Make With Me Monday, I'd love to see what you come up with. You can post it in the comments. I will share the replay of the video. This was the Ice Cream Swirl stamp set, and we used the coordinating dies to cut out the donuts. My rectangles are from the deckled rectangle dies, which were really, really cool. But that is my card for today, and I really, really hope you like it. Again, it was inspired by Wendy, I think it's pronounced Weixler. She had shared it in the Stampin' Up! Demonstrator group, and I just thought it was adorable, so I tried to put my own twist on her card, and I think it turned out really, really great. So I hope that you will join me on Wednesday. I will put the link up, but as I said earlier, I'm going to go live in my YouTube channel instead of my Facebook group. I think it'll be easier for me to save my videos to YouTube that way and then just share them in the Facebook group. So I will post that link Wednesday morning, and I hope to see you then. But until then, have fun with your stuff and happy stamping. Bye.